Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
Giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem Kodash.
Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the elect, beginning with the 144,000 chosen men, the prophets of the Lord. Also unto the extra men, women, and children whom the Lord will have mercy on in these last days. Shalom be unto you. Your brothers from Great Millstone, Trinidad, Brother Kona, Brother Kalab, back at you with another lesson. Hopefully this is edifying. We want to touch on Genesis chapter 6, going into the story of Noah, right, the man of the Lord, that giving a summary that amongst that wicked generation, he found grace in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he received a vision. Right, he received a vision. The Lord showed him what would happen in that time, the judgment that he was about to bring. And Noah, through belief and faith in his power and his communication with his power, acted upon that belief. Hebrews 11 even tells us, before we dive into the Genesis 6, Baba Kusha, the Hebrews 11, where it talks about Noah. Let me get it here. Hebrews 11. Hebrews chapter 11, and we get the exact verse.
7.
We have verse 7. It says, by faith, Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house. Now, what do you mean by what things not seen as yet? What the Lord showed him had never happened upon the earth. That had never happened before.
Rain.
It never rained. Right? You read in Genesis, you see a mist came up and watered the earth. Right? Reading on, it says, he prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world. He condemned the world. So what he was prophesying out there to them is condemnation. So what we do in these last days, we condemn this world. Just like Noah, we in the spirit of Noah. Right? That's the spirit that we in. Condemning this world, Abaratazah, to the saving of our house through this work that we do, this preparation of this spiritual ark. It says, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. Became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. And that righteousness is in who? Yahushai. As the scripture calls him in 1 John 1:1, Yahushai, or 2:1, Yahushai the righteous. Right? So now being in him or having belief in him, what makes us righteous. We are righteous. Our righteousness is of faith. That's how Abraham was accounted for righteousness. This is how Noah is being mentioned here honorarily for faith. Through faith he did that. So going back to the Genesis 6, right, and we're going to just read through it briefly until it mentions the it brings in Noah, right? Genesis 6 and starting at 1.
It says, and it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, all of all which they choose.
Yeah, the sons of God here represents who? The children of Israel today. That's who the sons of God are. Right? Those that were the descendants of Adam according to that choice line. Like it goes when you read in Luke the 3rd chapter, it goes into the genealogy of Adam, right? Because it leads straight up to Adam, but from what, that side of Mary, right? Mary, you give it from Mary's genealogy leading up to Adam, right? And when it mentions Adam, it says Adam was what? The son of God. The son of God. So the line of people that was there mentioned was the sons of God lineage, stemming from Adam, right? So the sons of God went and slept with the daughters of men, which is the other nation, women of the other nations, and what? They started to go off serving their gods, for example, right? That happened to the nation of Israel when we went amongst Moab. We started serving their god. King Solomon, what King Solomon did, he went off after those strange women, and they were happening in the beginning same way, right? Read on.
It says, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet
My spirit shall not always strive with man, for he also is flesh. So the Lord, what the Lord saying there? My spirit shall not always strive. We go into that word strive.
with strive, it means to judge, contend, plead, to act as judge, minister judgment, to plead a cause, to execute judgment, requite, vindicate, to govern, to contend, strive, to be at strife, quarrel.
Yeah, so he ain't gonna always be in this state with which man he's talking about? His people.
His people. That is it.
Because the Lord has an ultimate plan to what? Make his people eternally righteous. So from the fall of Adam, or from the fall of the sons of God, because it started from the fall of Adam, but then the sons of God had to fall along with him.
Now, the word man goes back to Adam. Understand? Just to highlight, which is Adama, which means back to the earth.
Yeah, rich dark soil.
Rich dark soil. Right? So it says Adam, first man. Right? So when you better know highlight, you know this, the Lord would not strive with man, means he would not strive with Adam. And what we mean by that also is that because we have went off, right, he had no other choice but to judge us. Now we say strive, you know, to judge, to plead, to quarrel. It's like, I vex with you understand? You had to get this in return because you did this. Because he's the father of us.
That's right. And the way you mentioned, for he's just what? Flesh. There's a scripture that tells us in Psalms. I believe that's Psalms 103 and verses 10.
But you know that our frame of mind.
Our frame.
That is it.
You understand? You know that we are but just dust. So the Lord considers our makeup. So it's not that the Lord, wants to just keep bringing destruction to the earth. You understand? The Lord has a plan ultimately to have the earth under what its name really means, Eden, paradise, to beautify the place of his feet. So the Lord brought one major destruction in the beginning through the fall of the sons of God, right? Which was the flood. And then you have now in these last days, when the wicked is about to be put down, the Lord is going to bring that fire. That's what the Lord is about to do. The Lord is about to bring that fire upon the earth. And that is the second and last death.
That's right.
Grand destruction.
That's right.
Right? So he said, if we can read on.
Yeah. It says on the Lord. Oh. From 4?
3.
Yeah. I was going to read it over.
From the top, okay. Cool.
Yeah. It says, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Yes, so the Lord just a count down. A count down, like a man used to live for almost 1,000.
Almost 1,000. Methuselah lived the longest.
That is it. 969.
Yeah.
But now he's saying that guess what? They're gonna be up to 120.
And that's when Noah come on the scene here.
120. Let me read it here. It says, go ahead, tell like
yeah,
verse 4.
There were giants in the earth, right? So Christians will read this and say, you see that giants before?
Yeah.
But reading into it, after the Lord say, yet his days shall be 120 years, they were giants. Meaning what? Let's look it up. You're going to see the word Nephilim, right? And they're going reference to giant, right? Properly a fella that is a bully or a tyrant, a giant, right? Goes back to what? Somebody renowned, somebody of great stature. Now coming from the lineage of a son of God, that means to say you come from a great stature, you come from a great lineage, because he's a son of God. The other nations didn't have that privilege to be sons of God. Because there are different sects of men upon the face of the earth. They are the sons of God, the sons of men, and sons of the wicked. So this way it says, and they were giants, right? It's just basically saying they were renowned men. They were just great.
That's right. They were great men. They were mighty men. You understand? Like David. David was a giant, right? David was a giant of the Lord because David was a mighty man. They different mighty men. They were giants. You understand? They weren't easily pushed over. They were men that would destroy you, men of war, right? And this is what the Lord had caused to multiply on the earth, right? The seed of the sons of God.
That's all.
The seed of the sons of God began to multiply. These mighty gods, mighty men began to multiply using even the heathens. Right? So reading it in the BBE says, and after a time when men were increasing on the earth and had daughters, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took wives for themselves, for those who were pleasing to them. And the Lord said, my spirit will not be in man forever, for he is only flesh. So the days of his life will be 120 years. It says, verse 4, there were men of great strength and size on the earth in those days. And after that, when the sons of God had connection with the daughters of men, they gave birth to children. These were the great men of old days, the men of a great name. And that's what it says in the verse here in the KJV. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. It explained it right here.
That is it. And just to highlight, you see, this is the reason why, right? If it is you're not equipped with the Ruach HaKodesh and you're not studied, you wouldn't understand that these sons that were bred of other women of other nations is still sons of God, because it is based upon the lineage of the father. You are what your father is. That's just what it is.
So reading on in verse 5.
Can.
Wow.
Right? It says, verse 5, it says, and power saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And you see, the scripture talks about in Jeremiah, right? The heart is despitefully wicked. You know, the Lord tried the reins. Reins goes back to the heart, which goes back to your mind, your lab, right? It says that it repented the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said, I will destroy man, whom I have created, from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them.
Lord showing his anger. You know, just like he's able to show his mercy, like we read in the Jonah, it repented him to destroy, right? Now he's now showing what his wrath. He's about ready now to bring judgment, because there's two sides to the Lord.
That's right.
A side of wrath and a side of compassion and mercy. You understand? This is what the Lord has shown us throughout his word. So now what the Lord is about to bring in these last days, it's like he brought in the time of Noah. He brought what destruction through his wrath. So we're going to close this one out. With that, we give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodesh. Right, stay tuned for part 2. Right, going into Noah, the story of Noah, the flood, the judgments that the Lord is going to bring. Go ahead.